Hi, my name is James Taylor and I started Tar Aero. Here at Tar Aero, we 3D print aerodynamic devices. Things like splitter ramps for all different sizes of splitter media, right? Different depths of splitter media. We also make splitter end fences. We're also in the process of making wing end plates. And currently, I'm putting together the very first Tar Aero splitter perimeter. The reason we're doing this, the reason we're making 3D printed splitter parameters to help facilitate easier builds of splitters or to make splitter replacements a little bit easier for our customers is because I've experienced a lot of splitter loss in my time racing in the last 10, 11, 12 years now. I've gone through quite a few splitters myself, having them break off and not being built right and things like that. And so we decided that we wanted to change that, build splitters a little bit better, more consistently, make them out of carbon fiber and foam like a more traditional splitter. But we wanted them to be recreatable. As a race car driver for the last 11, 12 years, I've had my fair share of splitter losses. I've had them break off. I've had them come off due to riding curbs too high or crashing, whatever the case may be. And so here at Tar, I'm putting together our very first splitter parameter, and we're doing this to make splitter replacements a lot easier. We wanted them to be more replaceable and more consistent. Traditionally, when you want to make a carbon fiber and foam splitter, you have to hand shape the foam, but then that also leads you to having, say, inconsistent curvatures on the front and back end of your splitter, sometimes inconsistent sizes from side to side or front to back and things like that. And we wanted to eliminate a lot of that and make these a lot more replaceable by 3D printing out splitter parameters in a very specific material that can handle up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, so we don't have any issues with this warping, melting, or anything like that. So here at Tar Aero, we wanted to make our splitters and our splitter parameters a little bit more modular. We want to be able to integrate and change out different components to adjust your downforce from track to track. And part of that, along with our splitter ramps, we want to be able to integrate these splitter ramps into our splitters and integrate our different splitter end fences into the splitters as well to make them a little bit more modular. So you can go from one size of or style of splitter ramp that might produce slightly less downforce to a unit that might make a little bit more downforce into the same splitter. So you can adjust it from track to track. Just wanted to show here how a couple of different of our sections of our splitter are keyed together after we've have everything printed. They key together like a big puzzle, and then once it's all together, then you're able to cut out the foam for the center section of this, glue everything in, and then start skinning with carbon fiber. Okay, so here we have the splitter parameter all put together, and I just wanted to show how our pieces go into the splitter parameter. So for our splitter ramps, for example, I'm using a 1-inch thick foam, high density closed cell foam for the filler in my splitter. We also make these in a 3/4 inch flange height, a 1/2 inch flange height, and a 1/4 inch flange height for those who are making their splitters out of, say, plywood or Lumelite, things like that, right? But for me, I wanted an inch thick splitter to hold up to a lot of the forces I'm putting this splitter through. So for our splitter ramps being integrated into our splitter parameter, these key directly into the splitter parameter, and those will get epoxy in place to give us an extremely smooth transition from the underside of the splitter into the ramp for that airflow. And then for our end fences will also, with our little drill guide, put the drill guide down, drill 3 holes, and that way you can then attach your splitter end fences onto the splitter. And if you decide to go with a version 1 for a little bit more high speed downforce versus high and low speed, or if you're at tracks that demand a lot of high and low speed downforce, you want a little extra high downforce from your splitter at those lower speeds, you can use version 2. We're still working on the version 2, but that's coming soon. But those are all modular. We're also going to be redeveloping the splitter ramps to have a high-speed ramp like this one and a low-speed ramp that would give us a little bit extra downforce at lower speeds, say around 60 miles an hour versus being dialed in at 100 miles an hour.
For anyone who's curious, the carbon fiber splitter turned out really nice so far, but now we have to trim everything. This is just part of the process, but let's see how it looks after it's all trimmed up. Splitter's looking great. I just wanted to quickly show you guys how easy it is to install the tar splitter ramps. You literally take some epoxy and then you take your splitter ramps and then epoxy them in place. I wanted to show you guys our version 2 end pinces that I'm putting onto my Time Attack 260Z splitter. They're really easy to install. You just take our provided drill guide, drill it with a 3/8 drill bit, and then of course you add in the added fasteners or the supplied fasteners into the end plate. Ends up looking just like this. Talk about collecting some low pressure.